Once again, we are back to the class. And in the last session, we were learning about the internal sources of recruitment, where an organization was getting its employee from inside the organization. Or when a job is coming, the organization was availing the required personnel from within the organization. Now, in this session, we will be learning about external sources of recruitment, where these sources are talking about getting the necessary personnel for doing a job from outside the organization, and those are called as external sources of recruitment. So, we are entering into the session, that is external sources of recruitment. External sources of recruitment are those sources of recruitment when an organization is availing the required personnel from outside the organization, and various methods are being adopted by the organization in order to avail the necessary personnel from outside the organization. Now, we are going in detail into that. External sources of recruitment. These are the external sources of recruitment, or these are the various ways through which an organization is availing the required number of employees from outside the organization. We start with direct recruitment. Direct recruitment. What is direct recruitment? Direct recruitment simply means that when an organization is availing its employees by placing a notice in the notice board which is outside the organization gate, informing that on a particular day this number of employees is required, and on that particular date they will be assembled at the premises as said in the notice. Those persons who are fulfilling that requirement will assemble at the premises, and the employees will be taken directly by the concerned manager, or concerned person in charge will directly come and select the persons from those who have gathered there. So, that method is called as direct recruitment. Usually, this kind of recruitment is basically used for unskilled works, or work which requires unskilled persons, or semi-skilled works. Such kind of works are usually going for direct recruitment, and these type of workers are called as badali workers. So, that is the first way of external recruitment. Second thing what we are doing is that this is direct recruitment. Second one is called as casual callers. Casual callers. What is casual callers? Casual callers are those persons who have earlier applied in the organization. That means in an organization they receive a number of applications for the different vacancies, and there will be number of applications which will be remaining, those who have not been selected. So, usually there is a tendency in the organization that they maintain this application whatever they are receiving, those unsolicited applications. So, selecting the persons or selecting that required personnel from the database of unsolicited application which is maintained by the organization when an urgent requirement arises. So, selecting of required personnel from the unsolicited applications for a work which is coming up, we call that type of recruitment as casual callers. From database of unsolicited applications we are selecting it, and usually it brings down the cost of recruitment, because we need not go for a invitation or advertisement at a later stage. So, that is also another method of external recruitment. Now we go to advertisement. Advertisement you are much familiar with. In newspapers, in in electronic media, in print media, they are giving advertisement regarding the vacancies which are there in an organization. So such kind of advertisement which is paid and made, and through that, seeing that advertisement, the personnel can apply for the job. Such kind of recruitment by giving advertisement in print or electronic media, we can call it as another form of external recruitment, advertisement. Next one is employment exchange. Employment exchange. What is employment exchange? Employment exchange is usually run by government. It is a method which is usually following the which is being done by the government sector. Usually they get people registered and they maintain the data of the people with skilled or semi-skilled or whatever be, and companies are asked, especially government companies are strictly asked to report the vacancies to the employment exchange. They are being asked to report the vacancies, and employment exchange, what they do is that they see the match between, or they supply the required personnel with the said qualifications from those persons who have registered with the employment exchange. That is a method which is being adopted, and one of the problem is that means employment exchange is having a database with the registered candidates, and they will find the match between the requirement of the concerned organization, and they will get them connected with the organization, and that way required personnel is being supplied or catered to the organization. One of the basic problem of employment exchange is that many times updations regarding the qualifications or experience or skills are not usually done. So that is a serious problem with employment exchange, and employment exchange is a way through which, or it is owned by, or it is managed by government. Now we are coming on to placement agencies. We are coming on to placement agencies. What is placement agencies and management consultants? It is almost similar that of it is almost similar that of employment exchange. Now they also, what they also do is that they get people apply or get registered with them with their qualifications, with their experiences and all, and they find a match between the qualifications, skills, experience, and with the requirement of various organizations. And what they do is that they get them connected with the organization, and organization, after having interview and all, they are selecting from them. So almost the same method where employment exchange is been doing, but only difference is that this placement agencies usually charges a fee for the service they are providing. And what is management consultants? Management consultants are also doing almost the same thing, but only thing is that they are more focused on professional areas, or they are they are providing technical, professional and managerial personnel, that is, or a little bit more skilled persons, or they are specifically focused on certain areas. They are providing required personnel in those areas. So placement agencies and management consultants is yet another form of getting personnel from outside the organization. Now coming on to campus recruitment. You are much familiar with that term. Campus recruitment. Campus recruitment is a method where the organization is trying to find out the required personnel from the educational campuses. They go to educational institutions and they are trying to find out the persons from the educational institutions. In that way they are getting the personnel, and it is in tie up with the education institutions. They get the required personnel from the education institutions. That is called campus recruitment, recruitment made from campuses. Now coming on to labor contractors. Labor contractors. What is labor contractors? Labor contractors, what they do is that they maintain close contact with the laborers, and when a requirement arises in an organization is that they require a number of persons. What they do is that they get connected with these labor contractors saying that this number of persons are required for this job, and these labor contractors make sure that persons are coming for the job. They are supplying the required number of persons. Usually many a times what happens is that this is unskilled work and semi-skilled work usually requires this labor contractors, and they can be availed at a short notice. So labor contractors is also another method which is being adopted for external recruitment. Another one they are saying is about web publishing. Web publishing, that means they are having a website where they can get registered with, and it is for getting connected with the employee and employer, or prospective employee and employer. They can get registered with certain websites. They are particularly meant for supplying the personnel. So when they are getting connected through this web, and they are providing information to the organization regarding the persons who have registered with them with set qualifications, and they are providing the required personnel for the organization. That is also another method of external recruitment which is done with the help of a website and with the help of internet. That is called web publishing. That is yet another external source of recruitment. And apart from all these things, there is another way of external recruitment, that is recommendation from past and present employees. That means when a requirement comes, the persons who are working with the organization or a person who was earlier working in the organization is giving them a suggestion that such a person whom I know is there. So one of the benefit with that one is that the person whom the present employer, past employee is suggesting, they will give an idea regarding the organization to the prospective candidate, and they can get a better idea, and organization also can have an idea from the employee regarding that. So that is also another method. Recommendation from past or present employees is also a way of external recruitment. So these are the different forms of external recruitment. Now coming on to merits and demerits. There is positive things, there is negative things. One of the merit of external recruitment is that we can get qualified personnel. We can get persons with the set qualifications, said skill, said experience. Many a times when we are taking from the organization, we need not to get that much of persons with that much of qualifications. So we get qualified personnel from we can get a qualified person, we can get a person with said qualifications. And the second one is connected with the first one. we get a wider choice. We can get more in number. When we are taking from within the organization, the number of persons will be less. But when we go for externally when we are trying to find them out, we can get enough and more in number. From among them, we can get the best one. There is choices more, not just restricted within few numbers. Third one is fresh talent. This is just opposite of inbreeding in internal source of recruitment, because here new persons are coming with new ideas, new way of thinking, new way of doing. So we can have something fresh in the organization. Infusion of new blood is there in the organization. So fresh talent we can get through external recruitment. That is yet another merit. Competitive spirit is yet another merit, because when a person is very sure that somebody from outside, there is a possibility for somebody from outside to come into the organization, they will work hard. The present employees, the existing employees will work hard so as to make sure that their promotion possibilities are not curbed. So there is a healthy competitive spirit coming up. They will work hard to prove themselves. So it builds in competitive spirit. Now coming on to demerits. One of the basic demerit is that there will be dissatisfaction among the existing employees. Means when a new person is coming from outside to take over a position which was actually meant for the persons inside the organization, somebody new is coming, automatically there can be a dissatisfaction, because their promotional possibilities are going less. The existing employees' promotional possibilities are going less. So there can be a possible dissatisfaction from the existing employees. Second one is, it's a lengthy process, because a person who is absolutely new to organization is coming, and they have to be checked, they have to be made sure they perfectly fit the job that is to be done. So it becomes a lengthy process. They have to pass through various stages, interviews, tests, various things are to be done. It takes time to consume a person into the organization. It's a costly process. That is a third demerit, because for conducting interviews, for conducting tests, for all these things they requires, for give them training, all these things requires money to be invested. Cost is to be spent. So it's a costly process. So this is what is in total about external sources of recruitment.